Jade Wolf was first.
Jade Wolf. Easy first. Very nice. All right. Ready even for the super late start time because we were setting up archipelago stuff and I wanted to help out. I was all set up, but I wanted to make sure everybody was all set up, so I stuck around while people were setting stuff up, but should be fun tomorrow. Yo, what up, Jude man? Cokey Shaky. Why did I think it was Coke Shaky? Did it used to be Coke Shaky? Was it always Cokey Shaky? Yo, thanks for the good luck, Gaggin. All right, open this. We'll try to do an abbreviated practice today since I started late, so that we can actually get some runs in. I still got to practice a little, I feel like. I don't think it would be responsible of me to not practice at all, but... An evil mod did their thing. How dare they? Why would they do that? Early end today? If so, then less practice. Yes. It will be an early end today, because we got to get up tomorrow at the crack of noon to get our archipelago stuff set up. I'll blame Desha. True. If Desha's not here, then Desha can't deny it, so... Oh, barely. She almost got away. Imagine we get PB today. More likely than you'd think. There's no minimum stream time required to get a PB. It can happen on literally the first run of the night. Hopefully Chris's curse has ended. I mean, hopefully. What up, Yatlin? Can you believe he just came in here, said, "Bad luck, Mitch," and we got actually the worst luck of all time in the run? Can you believe that? That was a very weird Emma. Oh. It didn't turn around. Oh, you're being weird. Crimson Desert has released, getting mixed reviews. Apparently controls are bad and can't be remapped. Can't be remapped. Like even on keyboard, can't be remapped. What did you do? We're blaming you for renaming Coke Shaky to Cokey Shaky. Inori's very upset about it. Ah. Seems so, that's what you've heard. Okay, that's actually unacceptable. I assumed the controls were bad because there's just too many damn buttons. And no matter how you rebound it, there's just too many damn things that you... You know, a real Neo situation. Hey! Did I ever play Tenchu back in the day? No, I've never played Tenchu. But if it's just... No, they're just in a bad spot and you can't rebind them, that's pretty unacceptable. I mean, they made a whole successful MMO before this, Black Desert Online. Surely you can make your own keybinds in the MMORPG Black Desert Online. So surely they would know you have to be able to rebind things. Surely. Nice. Yo! 1, 2, 3, 4. Aggie, thank you for the raid. Welcome on in, Raiders. That wasn't what I was supposed to do, but that works. Got a little distracted. Yo, hope the weird indie horror went well. Also, I presume you told them. I'm gonna tell everyone. 1 p.m. Pacific tomorrow, Archipelago. Or maybe slightly earlier. Or let's be honest, we'll all somehow be late and it'll be at like 2 or 3 p.m. Pacific. But 1 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. Archipelago. Should be fun. Classic. Asked about that right at the end of stream. Perfect time. 3 p.m. EST, Aggie said. That was the original plan. So you guys show up then. We'll see. But I think it's going to end up being more like 4 p.m. EST. I mean, it would be nice if we started at 3 p.m. EST. I'll be awake then. I'll be awake. I'll get on. I'll be ready. But I don't expect that everyone will be. So we'll see. Told us the gimmick, too, that it's everyone's first time playing the game. Except for Chris, he's a cheater. Chris is a cheater. He's playing a game he's already played before. It's just when he was a child. Classic Chris. I'm playing a game I have genuinely never played before. Blasphemous. Classic Chris. Dom also played Minecraft before. But did he, like, finish it? Like, is this... Yeah, it kind of... We can hash it out tomorrow, on stream, as we're playing. When I don't do the turnaround dead angles that I was supposed to do. Being played as a child is what I do every Archie. Exactly. And we all suffer for it. Isn't suffering kind of the point, though? If suffering wasn't the point, we wouldn't do Deathlink. Ah, mistimed. Okay. Soul streamers like the suffering. Well, you know, we're just willing to accept the suffering. It's called content. Gonna be looking forward to blasphemous spike deaths. Yeah, that's... Is it like a... I hope it's not a full death on touching spikes once. Or else I'm gonna be sending a lot of death links, I think. Smile. Yo, thanks. Hoping to PB today as well. It's been really nice getting back to just speedrunning Sekiro, but at the same time... I wish to be free like a bird. And able to do whatever I want each day. Which I could right now, it's just I would get rusty on Sekiro. And then every day I spend not playing Sekiro would be like 2 days in the future I need to spend getting my muscle memory back. Why didn't that work? Any thoughts on Crimson Desert? Haven't seen much gameplay. I've watched a little bit of people playing Crimson Desert, and it looks fine. It looks pretty good, but it doesn't look like it's a game for me. It looks like obviously nowhere even remotely like Souls, and I like Souls. But it looks like a game with a lot of buttons, a lot of mechanics, a lot of, you know, kind of spamming. Not like spamming, but like, you know, it's that, like, it's that style, that pace of, like, you know, you're doing a lot of stuff and, like, every so often dodging or blocking. That just isn't really my style. I might still enjoy it if I played it, but I don't think I'm gonna play it. I think it's not for me. Getting an Elder Scrolls vibe from it for sure. Yeah, Elder Scrolls, but, like, instead of the combat being, have at thee. Ha. Ah. Ugh. Ah. It's instead, you know, flip, 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 spam, 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 bup, 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 kick, 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 run around, brrr, ah, brrr, boom, boom, explosion. That kind of a thing. Waiting for a sequel for Lies of P. Love that game. Aw, oh, I can't wait. And they did confirm we're getting a sequel. Have to change dodge from alt. Can you rebind? We were wondering whether you can rebind keys in Crimson Desert. Can you rebind? Because Alt seems like a horrible dodge key. Well, that was weird. Keyboard and mouse remapping is there, but not controller. But game devs say it's better on controller. Okay, as long as you can rebind on keyboard and mouse, that's fine. Controller players, I'm sorry. You can rebind everything. Cool. Another keyboard and mouse W. There we go. That's the good Ishin. Apparently a lot of Crimson Desert's base keybinds are really weird bad. Unsurprising. It's... At this point, I am never ever surprised that no action RPG ever gets their keybinds right. Shooters, easy keybinds. WASD to move, R to reload. Like, every shooter has the same keybinds and it always works. Action RPGs, it's all over the place, and they never do it right. You'd think the MMO guys would. Kinda? I mean, in an MMO, it's like it's not... Actually, I haven't played Black Desert Online. But in general, it's like, oh, all your abilities are, like, everywhere. Oh, how many buttons do I need? All of them. So, like, it's a little different. They didn't put heavy attack on shift right click. At least they did not put heavy attack on shift right click. No one has the same preferences, and ARPGs have like a million possible bindings. It's true. But like, it feels like they always pick default bindings that nobody would like. Like, you're not gonna get default bindings that 100% of players like. But it feels like they always make ones that, like, 1% of players would like. When I feel like you could at least get bindings that, like, 30% of players would like. Like, Sekiro's default key bindings, really good. Like, genuinely, what you would want out of your key bindings. Beautiful. Like Elden Ring's bindings, except for interact on triangle, always find that weird. Controller, usually they do fine. Usually on controller, default key bindings are fine. It's mostly keyboard and mouse where they don't seem to ever do it right. The old default Elden Ring key bindings are good, except for two things. One, jump on F. It's just hard to get used to, but it's kind of where else would you put it? And two, you have to use the arrow keys in order to, like, swap your weapons and stuff. So as long as you're never swapping your weapons in combat, it works kind of fine. But yeah, arrow keys in combat is not so good. You also have to use it to swap your items, so that you really would do in combat. So yeah, maybe it just doesn't really... Outside of that, though, the old defaults for Elden Ring were decent. The new defaults for Elden Ring that they changed when Shadow of the Erdtree came out are much worse. PS3 onwards, keyboard and mouse is pretty good. It's at least alright. They're worse? How so? So they moved dodge instead of being on space, which you can hit with your thumb, which is not too hard to do. They moved it to shift. So in order to dodge, you have to tap it and release it quickly with your pinky. And I don't know about you, but my pinky not so great at that. It works in Sekiro because you can just press and hold it down for a bit. Hey, that works. They also put something on alt, I don't remember. And then they made jump space. Which jump on space, it's like, oh, it makes sense, except that now dodge is on shift, which is just weird. As a guitarist, your pinky does have that type of dexterity. Well, then any keybinds will work for you. Like, I wouldn't mind that, but then again, FromSoft on keyboard and mouse is just bizarre world to you. FromSoft on keyboard and mouse is nice. As long as either A, you have dodge on press, like in Sekiro, where it's happening as soon as I press it, or you put it on a button that's easy to, like, press and release. So, like, space, I can press and release easily. I could do it with, like, right-click, although I wouldn't put right-click for roll. That would feel weird to me. I like block. But, like, there are a lot of your fingers that I feel like can quickly press buttons, but my pinky is not really one of them. Like, I mean, it can at this point through years of playing like this, but like first starting, I feel like that would have tripped me up a lot. Pinky shift for Diablo 3 to attack in place, so yours is not that bad. Well, so did I. I did the exact same thing. But the difference there might have been tab, but it was my pinky regardless. The difference there is you hold that. You don't tap it and have to release it as soon as possible. The problem with dodging in a game like Elden Ring is if I press and release, it, like, doesn't work. You have to tap really quickly. And I feel like pinky is just the worst finger for that. Well, this is an awkward spot. I'm probably getting burned here. Nope, avoided the fire, just barely. Nice, there we go. Alt was for walking, I think. No, Alt is for walking in the original keybinds. In the new keybinds, Alt is for something, is for actually doing something, and I don't remember what. Am I gonna buy Crimson Desert? No. I like Alt as walking, which I have in Sekiro as well. You and I walk. Because it's like something that you do so infrequently that I'm okay with like moving my finger over to do it from space where it normally rests. How long is a typical purification of the game? Sub 1 hour? Definitely sub 1 hour. Like 45, 50 maybe minutes at most. You can look at all memories on the Sekiro leaderboard for an approximation. All memories does purification ending plus Demon of Hatred. But it's close enough. Even as a dexterous, I consider my hands. Even I can't do that. Oh, okay. Sorry, I miss, yeah, red. It's just like the way that we as humans have developed using our pinky has been to hold buttons. Like, what does shift do when you're typing? Nothing if you just press it. You have to hold it while you're typing other things. I feel like that's just like how humans have learned to use our pinkies. So if you're putting something on pinky, it better be a hold. Do they do the Demon of Hatred cheese? Is that still a thing? If they're doing the glitched runs, yes. If you're doing glitchless, then no, obviously not. But yes, that is a thing for glitched runs. You can actually also, in glitched runs, you can make him fall off while air swimming, I think. I'm not sure if that was faster, though. I know that was, I'm pretty sure that was found. I'm not sure if that was found to be faster. Doing an early follow NPC in Crimson and went to side camp. Didn't see the NPC, went back to the start and was searching for where you're going. Got yourself a whole collection of insects and bugs and money. Ah, collect all the stuff. Some people can do insane things with their pinky, so it can definitely be learned, but it's so awkward. Yeah, just as default key bindings, that's really awkward. Like, if you're designing your default key bindings, not the key bindings that somebody puts for themselves because they're like, oh, I'm really good with my pinky. I will put it on there because I know that I can do it. Your default for somebody who hasn't played the game before and is like, I don't know what the key bindings should be. Strange decision. Yo, Cell Kittens! Yo, thank you for the sub. Welcome back to the bunch. Enjoy the emotes. Okay, weird. But it worked, so I'll take it. Alright, I'm gonna move on. Again, I don't want to practice too long tonight since we got a shorter stream. Since I gotta get up for Archipelago tomorrow. I didn't want to go with no practice, but we'll do shorter practice. How we doing today? Doing good. Okay, only one extra hit needed because I missed some headshots. Okay, that was good. I think that was all headshots, I think. Was still hurting from last time. Which whiff? Like 18-second time loss? Well, there wasn't really anything I could do about that. I mean, I could have lost a bit less time, but like, when he does the weird attack and you go for the backup, you're just kind of praying every time because it depends on the like micro spacing of the attack. So it's basically just up to the RNG of like the exact positioning as to whether it's gonna work or not. Oh, that was nice. He even had weird positioning and I got all the headshots. That was nice. Is streaming my full-time job? It is, yes. I mean, it's more like a hobby that kind of barely pays the rent, but I don't have any other full-time job, so good enough. We're just checking to see how the therapy went for it. Ah, whatever. I'm not elastic? I wanted to say elastic. No, just flexible. I don't know. Some sort of word that means I bounce back and it doesn't really affect me that much. Like, it affects me in the moment, of course, but day later, whatever. Gummy. Adaptable. That's more active. Like, adaptable, I feel like, is like you're making an adaptation as opposed to just like, just whatever, I forgot about it. It was yesterday. Empty inside. That's the one, yeah. I'm empty inside. Okay. Not bad. Did miss one headshot, though. Wonder if Kazan will get a DLC. Had a lot of fun with the bosses in that game. Technically, it did get a DLC. It got, like, boss rush modes, which were pretty fun. But, like, a full, like, story advancing DLC with, like, new areas. I would guess not, but who knows? Okay. Miss how you could go from an attack right into a deflect? You mean like this? Where you start up an attack and then you... All right. Not bad. Definitely still missed a headshot, but... It was so busted. It's nice. I mean, it's just a good quality of life of, like... If you're in the middle of an attack, you're still getting wrecked. Like, this is me holding the block. It only happens all the way after your swing is fully done. But the ability to be like, oh, I accidentally buffered one too many inputs. Let me cancel it with a block. Is so nice. It seems to be more of a preventing excess buffers thing than like a true, like, you're not committing to your attacks thing. Because you have to start blocking way before you could actually, like, react and be like, oh, my attack is happening. I better cancel it. So it seems to really just be, like, helping you if you accidentally pressed attack too many times to cancel out of that. Okay. And for whatever from the Kazan devs, I just hope they're cooking up something else. Easy to do that without stamina, I think, because I find myself spamming R1 more than any other From game. Yeah. It definitely... Pressing R1 too many times happens more in Sekiro, probably. Because you can. Yeah, I am excited for if the Kazan devs make another game. I just hope that they, you know, bring it even more in the Souls-like direction, but they might not. The game was really good regardless, but if they go more in the Neo direction and less in the Souls direction, I would like it less if they did that for a sequel. Hope they learned from it, because I did play Kazan to completion. There were a lot you really didn't like about it too. Such as what? Give some examples that we can ponder over. Hope they add some more weapons. I love the 3 types they give you, but I'd hope for like 5 or 6 maybe. Sure, I guess. I'd be okay with another 3 or 2 or even just 1 if it's really fun. But waiting for Lies of P sequel with that DLC final boss. They're definitely cooking. Can I be honest? I kind of feel like the DLC final boss in Lies of P is one of the worst bosses in the game. I feel like it's one of the only times that I was like, instead of making it like super fun and super fair, you kind of just went overboard. I love Lies of P bosses. I think in general they are almost all incredible bosses. But the DLC final boss, I don't know. He's probably like a bottom 5 boss in the game for me in terms of how much I liked him. The first phase, liked a lot. The second phase, not so much. Not spoiling too, I don't want to spoil. Well, I don't know. It's been out for years and it's a game I've speedrun, but I guess not spoiling too much. Did you like no attack time, just keeps on attacking you like an Elden Ring boss? Yeah. Which what do I think of Consort Radon? Definitely too much as well. Definitely worse for it. I probably liked Consort Radon better than the final boss of Lies of P DLC, but not by much. Nice, that was perfect. That was all headshots. Okay, I guess I'll move on then, since I don't want to practice all night. But I feel like they both suffered from similar problems. Pre-patch took you forever, but was goated. Pre-patch Consort was terrible. actually terrible. I was about to start swearing up a storm. Pre-patch Consort, genuinely a horrible boss. Genuinely not a good boss. Post-patch, it's all right. He's pretty good. That was good. Difficulty creep in the Souls genre turns you off. I think that's fair. I mean, I don't mind difficulty creep as long as the difficulty is in fun ways. I hate difficulty creep where the difficulty is don't give your player any tools to deal with anything, but make the bosses attack so many times in a row and give so little openings that the fight is going to take an hour because you never get to hit them, and you're going to constantly be out of stamina because you just constantly have to press the dodge button. Like, that's the kind of difficulty creep that I'm just like, I'm bored now. I want to hit the boss. But like, you know, Sekiro is very difficult, but even the most difficult things in Sekiro still feel super fun because defense is offense, and your character does feel fast enough to actually deal with the ridiculous combos that the enemies throw at you. So it's all just about matching the player's abilities with the boss's attacks. As long as those two things match, I'm okay with everything getting harder on the boss side, but you just have to make the player's tools keep up with that. Otherwise, it's just boring and I don't get to play the game. That's my opinion. Later Souls games lean into difficulty in a way where it feels like interesting elements of earlier Souls game become afterthoughts. Yeah. Yo, what up, Morago? The non-existent attack windows, that's the worst for you. Let me strike like 2 to 3 times at least. Yeah. I mean, I'm okay if it's like kind of short. Like in Sekiro, it is only oftentimes like 1 or 2 attacks that you get before they'll deflect you and it's their turn again. But like, it happens so often. It's their turn for literally like 2 or 3 seconds. Then it's your turn for 1 or 2 hits. Then it's their turn for 2 or 3 seconds. Then it's your turn. And like, it's short windows, but it's short, consistent back and forth windows. It's not, oh, here comes the boss's super move. Guess I'll run away, jump, dodge backwards, dodge in, dodge backwards again, wait for the final explosion, then finally go in, try to get 1 hit in. Just kidding, they backed away. You know? Like, shout outs to if anyone knows exactly what move that I was talking about the exact attempted punish for. Yep. Yep. So that's the things that I don't like. I don't like when it's literally that. And like for Lies of P, you technically get a little bit of benefit on perfect guards, but the benefit is so small that it doesn't feel like your defense is your offense in the same way that it does in Sekiro. So when was Koki Shaky changed? I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. So many tools, though. I think it's players' fault being too adamant to use anything but dodge and attack button. Well, the thing is, your character only has dodge and attack. That is the only things that your character has. If every boss in the late game suddenly becomes, oh, you have to use Bloodhound Step to avoid it. Oh, you have to use, oh, you're forced to parry. Oh, you're forced to, Great Shield block. Otherwise, it's just going to hit you because you can't dodge it. Right? The whole, like, beauty of a game in this style, in this genre.
Elden Ring has a problem with the boss attacking uptime against punishment window ratio.
Yep.
Sup Mitch and chat, D.
What up, Flynn? We were just saying that. If you're going to say you must use this specific tool, then that tool needs to be available to everyone. Otherwise, the person who's like, hey, I've got my cool build where I'm dual wielding katanas and I'm gonna use blood tax and seppuku and that's how I have fun, gets to a boss, goes, oh, it expects me to use Bloodhound Step? Oh, man, but I really liked the Ash of War I was using, and then it takes away from their enjoyment. Or, oh, I'm really supposed to parry? Oh, but I really wanted to dual wield these katanas. That's my character fantasy. And their enjoyment goes down. So the idea of like, oh, there are all the tools in the game, while it's true, there are a lot of tools in the game, it should never feel mandatory. The tools that you get should feel like, you know, extra perks on top of it. It should never feel like, oh, what you're supposed to do is this. You know what I mean? Nice. Eternally furious that the Sekiro parry was a physic and not a talisman. It does last for 5 minutes, which is plenty of time for any boss fight, but yeah. Forcing just one tool is not a good design either. Yeah. Well, it can be as long as it's a tool that you are guaranteed that the player has. In a Zelda game, it's good design to have the boss at the end of the dungeon where you get hookshot require the hookshot in order to beat the boss, because you know that the player has the hookshot because they're in the dungeon where you get the hookshot. Which is why some of the more open world Zeldas have had a problem with their dungeons and their bosses not being as interesting, because you can do them in any order. The devs don't know what tools you have. So the developers have to design fights around tools that they are 100% sure that the player has. And so that's why in Sekiro it's cool, because 100% of players can deflect, 100% of players can jump, 100% of players can dodge, and 99.9999% repeating, of course, of players can Mikiri counter. So they can design around all of those very easily, very nicely. Whereas in Elden Ring, the only thing you can be totally sure that a player can do is dodge and jump. And I guess crouch, but like nobody uses crouch. So that's why I think the boss design space of Elden Ring can be a little more limiting, because you can't guarantee that a player has found Bloodhound Step. You might be like, well, they probably found it, but like, and even if they did, it replaces their Ash of War, which is a trade-off players don't want to take, you know, etc. Same thing for parry, same thing for a great shield, etc. No problem if a boss can be defeated very easily by parrying. My only problem is if a boss can't be defeated easily without parrying. You know what I mean? It's cool when a specific build bodies a boss. It's not cool when you feel like a specific build is required, even if it isn't. The Midra helicopter crouch. That's true. That is fun. Millennium modded to not have waterfowl is so much more fun as a fight. I've never tried that before. Sekiro also gets free points because the gameplay flow is so novel comparatively. Any boss sort of feels fresh by default. That's also true. Until we make 100 Sekiro clones. In which case it will still be goated, but for different reasons. Out. But Godfrey, he's a goated spacing fight. Is he spacing? I don't know. I do like Godfrey a lot. I should say strafing, whichever is more understood. Oh, you mean the, like, dodge behind him stuff? When using Colossal Swords, I figured out a few attacks you can low profile with recovery frames from a jump attack in Elden Ring. Yeah, that is true. It's kind of funny. It's like a weird, thing. Not sure how to encourage or design around this kind of problem solving. However, I was just playing like a monkey and discovered it. Yeah. Again, it's fine if that happens and if you discover it, but if that was ever the only intended solution, that would be bad design. Saying only players with colossal swords doing jump attacks get to, avoid some sort of thing. Yeah. But yeah, it's neat. It's neat when you find interactions like that. I love Sekiro for the very reason you all really need is good deflects and basic attacks. No need to pick up 30 items and upgrade everything. True also. I like that it's very go. The action is starting from minute 1. Go kill things. Nice. All right. I mean, no tools are necessary to have to beat a particular boss. You just choose your own difficulty depending on how many tools you want to use. That's freedom right there in Elden Ring. Agree. Again, as long as, with no tools, it feels good. If it feels like ass with no tools, and everyone says, well, you're supposed to use Bloodhound Step, you're supposed to use a shield, then it's like, okay, redesign the boss, go back, try again, you have failed. As long as it feels good with nothing, and then feels even better if you've got excess stuff on top of it, then awesome. Love the freedom. Love the creativity, the design space, all of that. It just has to be designed around you having nothing, otherwise it is poorly designed. What am I doing? I was supposed to practice front side, not Genny. I know how to fight Genny. Is that I think beast bosses never clicked with you in Sekiro, especially bad because the early game has many of them. The early game has 2 of them. Well, Ogre's not exactly a beast, but like whatever, close enough. I do agree that Ogre into Bull is a bad start for Sekiro. Totally agree. By far the weakest part of the game. And then after it opens up, it's like, oh wow, this is way better. Aw, almost. Half the bosses, if not more, of the Soul series, you can ignore their attacks and simply walk around to keep attacking. Not universally, but enough that it's a trend. Well, that's kind of a point. That's kind of fun. Walking around a boss and hitting them from behind is kind of fun. That's... DS1 being Backstab Simulator, where, like... I swear, like, 90% of the basic enemies in the game, you can just walk behind them and backstab them, is genuinely a fun way to play. I don't really have a problem with that. I was wondering how to deal with exhaustion while resetting runs. Generally, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling exhausted, go do something else. Don't push yourself if you're not enjoying it. But if you mean like how to not get exhausted in the first place, I feel like that just comes with like overall mentality and drive. If you've got a goal you really want to hit, then I feel like, at least for me, it's pretty easy to power through. I mean, I also have the benefit of I'm streaming. I get less tired, less exhausted when I have a chat to just have discussions with. Like, practice itself could be exhausting, but I'm just here, you know, talking up a storm, having a conversation, and I feel like it's hard to get exhausted while you're having a conversation. Easy to get exhausted when you're locked in, like, I gotta do perfectly. Like, you're gonna stress your mentals very quickly. You're gonna tense up your muscles, so you're gonna exhaust yourself that way. So just being a little more relaxed and casual about it can help with exhaustion, and something like streaming helps with that, but not everyone can really do that. Okay. Introverts would beg to differ. I am an introvert, actually. I am totally an introvert. Going out, doing things, meeting people, talking with people exhausts me. I'm shy. I'm awkward. There's just something different about like even introverts, if you get them hanging out, you know, with their friends and they're just having a good time, like, it's not as though an introvert, like, means I can't talk to anyone. It's just like, it's how your energy level changes, especially being, like, out and around people, I feel like. Let's do a bowl or two and then do some runs. Introverts don't rise up. When did I get rid of the cam border? Remember when Sony made you one years ago? Yeah, it didn't really work as well, I feel like, for a lot of the stuff I was trying to do with my cam, like the cam flip and zoom in and stuff. And it felt like nobody else, not nobody else, but most people don't seem to have a cam border. So I just decided it was easier and maybe even looks nicer to just not have a cam border, so... Whoa! That's very surprising that he did not stagger on that previous hit. Don't hate Ogre, but it's just a weird early boss. Yeah, I mean, I like Ogre, but, like, I like it a lot less than most other bosses, and it's weird that it's the first truly required boss when the game should be teaching you about deflects, and then it throws in a boss that's much easier if you dodge. Nice. All right. Let's try some runs. I think that annoys you about the cameras that it's not lined up to the right with the speedrun timer. Is it not? I feel like it's pretty close.
Good luck, Mitch.
Thank you for the good luck. Played mainly dodging until Genny. Yeah, and I feel like that's partially your fault, but partially the game's fault for not emphasizing deflecting enough early. I think Bull was even kind of supposed to emphasize deflecting, because if you deflect Bull, you get such big openings and it feels so juicy, and deflecting Bull is actually really fun. But then they threw in chip damage of the fire, so everybody learns the opposite lesson and instead doesn't deflect the Bull. And it's like, it's just such a weird start. It's just... like, actually... you know, if I had to give a genuine criticism of Sekiro and be like, what is its probably biggest flaw from a first playthrough perspective? It is probably that you go ogre into bull. There are other things, you know, Sekiro is not a perfect game, except that it's so good that it's perfect anyway, despite all its flaws. But Sekiro is a game with flaws, and that is probably the biggest one. I actually think by the time you get to the Sakura Bull, you've learned enough, and it doing chip damage on its attacks, I think, feels fine. But the early Blazing Bull, it feels wrong. Will I do if Sekiro 2 comes out? Stream it for probably an entire 2 years straight, and nothing else. You bet I'm gonna be on that day one world record grind, finding strats. I'm gonna make... if Sekiro 2 comes out, it'll be my, like... my calling to actually get done all the things I wanted to do with Sekiro. Work on the bingo for it, and try to make an actual bingo, you know, tournament or league or something that I'll host. And even if it flops, I'll be like, at least I tried. Do a bunch of, you know, randomizer stuff and randomizer speedruns and... Sekiro 2, but I can't use the sword, and Sekiro 2, but I've gotten Matt to make a mod where there's double enemies, and then actually post it on my YouTube. Unlike, I got him to make me a mod for Sekiro, and then never posted the video. It'll be my time to shine. I'd do Sekiro 2 blindfolded. All the things I've done for Sekiro and more. You can still post it. I don't have the footage anymore. I wasn't streaming on YouTube at the time, and the Twitch VODs are gone forever. I was just having editor troubles at the time where I could not get a consistent editor. And like, I tried to edit it myself a little, and I was like, I don't know, this isn't for me, and I gave up. Because initially, since I had Matt make the mod for me, you know, I was like, oh, don't release it till I'm done with it, and then I kind of gave up on making the video and just let Dist, you know, play it next. And then he made a video and I was like, I'm so sad. But I just didn't have an editor at the time. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, didn't expect that to actually work.
Speaking about your YouTube, I wonder how your Trackmania with Lars video did on YouTube. Really liked that one.
I love that one. It's my least viewed video of the last, like, 4 years or something. Probably. I really like it, though. It's a great video. Nobody watched it, though. The video was fine. I'm so proud of that one. I think that should always be the goal of YouTube. Make stuff that you're proud of. The numbers are nice, but make stuff that you're proud of. That still might be my favorite video I've ever made, despite being my least viewed. I'd be down for a different protagonist, but wasn't the whole point that they killed the last immortal dragon? I don't know the lore of Sekiro that well, though. No, I don't think that's the point of the ending. I don't know exactly what happens in the Dragon's Return ending. It's weird. A prequel might make more sense. Could be. Activision FromSoft had a disagreement. That's why we didn't get a true DLC. I don't know if you noticed, but the guy in general in Seven Spears before Ishin was likely to be an entrance to the DLC. Oh, like he was going to give you another bell to go back and put the bell and experience another memory? That feels like an unsubstantiated rumor, but maybe. The guy used to be immortal before the Gauntlets update. Oh, was he? I don't remember that. What's good, yo? You know, just doing some speedruns. Cherry told you about me. Switching around the tenses to say it right is weird. Yo, hope Cherry is doing well. We raided into her last night. She got a 32-26, I think. Which is, like, a good time. She's gonna soon have to start learning all the super scary strats. Super Saiyan, Sword Saint Ishin. Ah, that's too much of a turn. Have to reset. He's a fully fledged boss with a health bar. No, not the general. The guy that's like sitting there, like he's sitting there like hunched over, like I'm so dead. That guy. Similar to several other guys in the game that you can walk up and talk to, and they'll tell you their life story. Yo. Okay. All right. Come on. Let me get out of the tutorial. Come on. Come on. All right. Have a good one, Flen. If you hit him, it would make ripples instead of doing damage to him. Also, the cage before Senpo Temple seems pretty useless. That possibly could have been an entrance to DLC. These are theories. Yeah. Possibly. What were we blaming you for when stream started? For changing Coke Shaky to Cokey Shaky. I have no idea if that was you, but we needed somebody to blame. Yo. What up, Cherry? It was definitely not you. Well, we're blaming you anyway. I genuinely don't think it was anyone. I think maybe the emote itself got renamed on the website or something. I have no idea. Could be the creator, yeah. Keyboard mouse is insane? Not really. It's a pretty common, normal way to play the game. And works great for speedruns. A guy who did a no level, no upgrade on Liza P. Yeah, I've done that as well, actually. It's a fun challenge, as long as you don't include the DLC. The DLC with that is a little bit much. They definitely expect you to be quite a high level for the DLC. But everything else, including Nameless Puppet, was a lot of fun. I think I had mine as no getting stronger. I could not do anything in any way to make my character stronger other than the stuff that the game forces on you. So I was allowed to use armor that you are forced to have by the game. I was allowed to use weapons that you are forced to have by the game. But I could not level, I could not upgrade my weapon, I could not do anything to affect my character other than what was forced upon me. Weird ogre. Not terrible, but weird. Said you or Blanks didn't run full game with base plus DLC. I understand the DLC is a pain in that regard. Is it? I mean, I never tried it. I mean, the DLC was a lot of fun. I just didn't really have a desire to speedrun it. Ooh, barely made that. Don't really know why. I probably should have speedrun the DLC, but at that time, I just didn't really feel like it. All right, that was a decent Gobu. And we end pretty close to the stairs. That's not bad. The horse kick gets you? Yeah. The thing is, you're looking for it in the speedrun because it's the best RNG, so you're like anticipating it like, I really hope I get the horse kick. So you like position yourself behind him specifically to get the kick, and you're watching for it exactly, which makes it a lot easier to react to. You don't like see him moving and then go, what move is he doing? You're like, that's the kick! Oh, how did you miss? What? Ah, Run is dead. How did he miss? This is so sad. Classic bull. Just missing for no reason. I think Boss Rush would be a much more fun speedrun than just going through the areas in Lies of P. Maybe. I mean, it's possible. But I do think a Boss Rush speedrun just turns into, like, so much RNG. Just being, like, the only thing you see in the run is RNG. I kind of feel like it would be worse. Like, I feel like there's something nice about running sections, even if they're a little boring, being more under your control, a little more like, all I got to do is, you know, run correctly and then it's going to work out.
If you think you can do something, then you are probably right. But if you don't think, you aren't going to.
True. I never think. So no movement is the signal? Kinda? It's like the horse shifting weight instead of him like... Because if you're right behind him, he's only gonna do one of three things. He's either gonna kick, he's gonna spin around to his left, or he's gonna... I don't remember what he does if you're on his right. But he only has the kick and then basically one attack for if you're behind him on either side. So all you have to do is, you know, notice whether he's shifting his weight for the kick or whether he's like bringing his spear up to try to attack at you from that side. There are definitely bosses and moves where standing still is the tell, but for the kick, he does start moving for the kick. He doesn't start twisting around like he does for the other attacks, but he does start, like, shifting the horse's weight. Just wish Liza P running sections felt less empty. For speedruns specifically? I mean, I agree. They're a little empty. For non-speedruns, I feel like they feel pretty full. Horrible start. How to cope with frustration? I'm stuck with the Shinobi Hunter and can't get the Mikiri proper, and that makes you not want to play. I don't know that I have good advice for that, because I don't generally get frustrated in that way. If I'm like, I'm messing this up, I'm not getting it, I know there's a solution right there, and I have messed it up, then I don't get frustrated at all. I get locked in of like, okay, you know, let's learn it. I turn it from like a win or lose scenario into a just learn scenario. So all I'll do is like just basically wait, try to get that one attack and just kind of play around, experiment with it. Go like, okay, is it supposed to be at this timing? No, that didn't work. Okay. And then, you know, I'll be like, okay, let's try to get him to do it again. Is it this timing? Oh, that's way too late. Okay, never mind. It's not that. Type of a thing. But if all you want to do is win and not, like, learn exactly how things work, and you're getting frustrated because you're not winning, then, you know, I don't have too much advice for that other than if you're genuinely frustrated, go away, play something else for a while, and come back when you're not. I get frustrated when it feels like there is no solution. Nice. Good ogre. I get frustrated when it feels like I've tried everything and it just doesn't seem like anything can work. When it's just like, I don't understand. There's something here and the game is not letting me in on it. That's not gonna make it. Yeah. Too short. Even then, I almost never get like that frustrated, but I mean, I think I got a little frustrated on like Melania and Consort. Both of them, I felt like there was kind of no solution, and I was pretty right, to be honest. But who else? Who else? Can anyone remember if you've watched me play these games casually? Can anyone remember anything I got a bit frustrated on? I don't think I ever got frustrated to the point of like, oh, I'm swearing and I'm like this and that, but like ones where at least I was like, oh, man, I'm not really liking this boss at all. Man, this sucks. Because I've definitely said like that before. Ikiri counter goes from always doing it too early to how late can I get away with? Yep. PCR was actual pain though. Frustration was mandatory. Yep. A lot of enemy density for sure, but there's a lack of ambient sound on top of not engaging with anything you're running by. It was saying running through all of them and there's no point to engage with the enemies for a speedrun or repeat playthrough. I mean, that's just kind of true for all games. What happens in Sekiro on a repeat playthrough or a speedrun? especially a speedrun. We run by all the enemies and don't engage with them. What happens in Elden Ring in a speedrun? We run by the enemies and don't engage with them. Like, I think saying you run past enemies in a speedrun is not really a criticism of a game. That's just how a speedrun is gonna work. And then, you know, you control the buttons you press in a repeat playthrough. If you want to engage with the enemies on a repeat playthrough, engage with the enemies. If you don't, don't. So, that's my thought, at least. At least when I didn't have confetti was frustrating. Yeah, that's probably true. It's been too long since I played Sekiro casually, so I don't remember, but, like, I could definitely see that being the case. Having beat RE9 on Insanity, I just swear and lock in. Nice. Oh, I definitely have said I'm not enjoying this. I don't like this at times in Silksong. I remember that. If you know, you know exactly where that was. It's more so, in a game like Sekiro, the speedrun doesn't feel empty when you're running by everything. Okay, I mean, I'm not sure I agree, because I'm not sure exactly what you mean by feeling empty, but maybe. A green area with cool music, perhaps. Perhaps. Lords of the Fallen with that one boss? Oh god, Lords of the Fallen with that one boss. That's one of the most frustrated I've been. Yeah, Lords of the Fallen with that one boss. Yeah, that boss sucked. That was probably the worst boss I've ever seen. So I definitely was frustrated there, but I feel like I get more, like, sad frustrated than, like, angry frustrated. Like, I'm never at any point, like, I'm gonna smash my keyboard. But I am like, I'm not having fun, I want to go do something else. So I remember most of the bosses outside of the really bad final boss for one of the endings. They changed that one in an update. The like default final ending boss that you're probably gonna get because you probably don't know how to get the other endings. They changed it. It's still pretty bad, but like not as boring, so. Did they? Yep. It still was maybe like the second worst boss in the game, but no longer the worst boss in the game, so. Honestly, that new final boss was probably the biggest thing that prevents me from having too much hope in the new Lords of the Fallen that's coming out at some point this year. Because it's the most recent boss that they've made, I think. And it was not good. So it doesn't really show me that they have learned from all their lessons. But we'll see. Maybe they didn't put that much effort in because it was just a replacement boss. And maybe they'll put tons of effort into the new bosses in the new game and it'll be awesome. Oh, second try. We'll take that. What I can tell, they really worked on it a lot after he finished after launch. I mean, they did, but I really don't think they actually improved it, like, that substantially. I think they did a decent job of reducing some of the worst. But I don't think they did a good job of adding stuff that's the best, you know? They brought up the floor, but they did not raise the ceiling. Okay. Mortal Shell 2 beta this summer, maybe. Ooh, I'm really looking forward to Mortal Shell 2. I liked Mortal Shell 1 a lot. Spear on a rope. Yep. For when even a spear is not enough range. There are 3 different endings, Lords of the Fallen, not 2 unless you misheard. Yeah, I know. There are 3, but there is 1 that you are likely to get on your first playthrough. The other 2, you'd have to kind of know what you're doing to get them. That's all I was saying. Gold! I did not think Yobu was that good for a gold, but I'll take it. Gold. Nice. This is the run. It could be. Whoa! That's what I said. Better Wu guy in the anime? I mean, almost certainly, right? Well, that sucks. All right, worst Genny of all time. The instant flurry is, I mean, kind of just a reset. Like 10 seconds lost. Nothing I could do.
Good luck, Mitch.
I think Neo 1 doesn't do a good enough job to get you invested in the story. Find the co-op system cumbersome. Felt like too many of the options are locked later on, so it felt like a chore to pivot like magic and stuff. Interesting. I just thought Neo 1 just kind of sucked in all ways, but... I was not a fan of FromSoft style gameplay with Diablo style loot systems. Well, Neo doesn't have FromSoft style gameplay, if you were still talking about that. Kazan does. Kazan I would describe as FromSoft style gameplay with maybe not Diablo style loot system, but that same sort of. And I do think it worked poorly in Kazan as well. I think the worst part of Kazan was all the aspects that were similar to Neo. Every part of Kazan that felt like Souls felt brilliant, like really good. Could have been, you know, almost Lies of P tier. And then every aspect that was from Neo was like, wow, this is awful. Wow, this is horrible, actually. Wow, this sucks. Game would have been much better if they didn't do this. Oversimplifying it, but yeah, yeah. Your system's stinky, yeah. I mean, it was kind of fun when I did a fist-only playthrough, the gear. Farming for gear, fist-only, to get the specific set bonuses that I needed in order to have barely enough attack power to kill an enemy in only 30 minutes instead of over an hour was kind of fun. But for a normal first playthrough, it was not good. Very nice. Oh, that's not it. Minor time loss. I do think in games there's a benefit to feeling like you're as strong as you can be or as strong as you should be for, you know, the content that you're doing. And that should, you know, align with what you're doing. So a game like Diablo can get away with, like, oh, you know, it kind of almost infinitely scales up with this random drops and stuff. Because you're like, oh, everything is kind of scaling up with me. As I get better gear, I'm going to do harder stuff. That's going to get me better gear. That's going to get me to do harder stuff. And it's like, you know, everything is exactly where it's supposed to be. Whereas a game that's Souls-like, it's like, well, I'm at this point in the game. regardless of how good my gear is, this is where I'm at. And so dangling in front of you, hey, if you farmed for a few more hours, you could get better gear, suddenly makes, you know, it feel worse. Let's say you get, you know, two-shot by a boss. You're like, oh, is it because I didn't farm for gear enough? Like, dangling that in front of your face makes you feel bad about it. Whereas if you don't have that and you get two-shot, you're like, oh, damn, this is just a really hard boss. Well, you don't have that, like, excuse of gear to fall back on or to feel bad about, maybe I should go farm. I guess there's also technically levels, but... I maybe should have done this Glitchless to try to save back a little time since we're in the red, but eh. All right, we're risking. Never mind, run's dead. We'll finish out the run, because why not? But run is very dead. Oh my god. Since run is dead, there's no reason not to heal at this point. Gunfort is fun. Yeah. Insult to injury with that last shot. Yeah. Doesn't usually you can't really get shot at that point, but I think the death kind of messed up the timing on everything. Ah, got the unlucky attack as well. Good thing it happened on an already dead run. Yep. This fight casually is so hard. I don't know. I don't remember really struggling on it casually. They hit him with the skill issue, huh? Well, I mean, like, I don't remember that. It could be, but I don't. The only bosses that I recall in my first playthrough struggling with, that stuck with me as ones that I remember, were Headless, Sword Saint, Father Owl, Demon of Hatred, Genny, and Lady Butterfly. Those are the only ones that stuck with me. Outside of that, I'm sure I struggled on some others. I just don't remember. You hated Father Owl? I love Father Owl. Immediately was my favorite boss in the game. So good. Ape? No, I do remember struggling on Ape. I do remember barely getting through the first phase. And I knew there was a second phase because I had seen the donkey video. But still, when he got up, feeling a sense of like, damn it. There is more. Very nice. We literally just need a really good Yobu like last time for 29:15. Are there other time saves you could do later in the run? There are other time saves. Snake Eyes, if I didn't get killed there, would have been a time save. Ape is almost always a time save. Ishin is almost always a time save. Donkey, the trick is I can come back to life. Guardian Ape, the trick is I can come back to life. Demon of Hatred, Trauma's Demon Bell, when you barely do any damage, was a grind, like a 20-minute boss or something. It feels like 20 minutes. It's actually probably like 7 minutes. Charmless Demon Bell in the refight, where it's kind of scaled up. But it does feel really long. Like anything over 5 minutes in a like Souls-like encounter feels like forever. Like the, in Elden Ring, they introduced the deflecting hard tier, which lasts for 5 minutes. And if that runs out in a fight, it's like, oh my god, this is a long fight. I am doing something wrong. Like, I basically only ever see it run out when we're doing silly, like, randomizer shenanigans where you've got a boss that, like, flies away and can't be hit for 2 minutes. Meanwhile, in Monster Hunter, got hunts for over half an hour. Yeah. But you're not just, you know, directly fighting it that whole time. Well, sometimes you kind of are. It's longer if they can one-shot, yeah. You gotta be locked in every moment. Or Gargs. Ugh. Yeah, no, Gargs can easily take over 5 minutes sometimes. Because you just don't get to hit them. They've just covered themselves in poison. And then what do they do after that? Cover themselves in poison. And what do they do after that? One attacks you and you're like, aha, I can punish it. And then the other attacks you immediately after. So you have to just keep rolling. Oh, come on. Is scaling different or harder there as well? It's the same as the memory refights, which is to say harder than a first playthrough. Takes a lot more hits in the refights than in a normal first playthrough. You're being very weird, Ogre. You don't normally slam twice in a row. Yep, 0 opening boss fight. We love that. These speedruns are like digital F1, even a 1 second difference counts. Yeah, yeah. Was there ever a category in speedrunning with the Mortal Journey boss rush? Yes. Yes, there is a category. I've never run it because it looks very boring and very RNG, but there is one, yes. It's actually relatively popular with I think it's Chinese runners especially. I think there are many good runners that do that category. RNG is definitely a big factor, yeah. Did you do a Moonveil run in Elden Ring? It looks like a cool weapon. Sure, it is a cool weapon. I'll just make sure you do it on Monday. It does double damage on Monday, so. Extra quick tips, yep. Wasn't Moonveil one of the 2 katanas that was turbo busted at launch? Yes. Probably the actually more busted one, but Rivers of Blood got more notoriety. Moonveil sucks now? It's still good. It's not good for speedruns where the only thing you care about is raw DPS if I get every punish perfectly. Because it's not about raw DPS if you get every punish perfectly. It's about being able to still hit the enemy even from ranged with a cool beam. But as long as you think about it that way and use it that way as like, oh, this is a weapon where I can keep up the pressure even from range. It's a good weapon. Solid weapon. Also, Ice Rind Hatchet, yeah, with Hoarfrost Stomp. Any weapon with magic damage equals bad IMO? Like everything has high magic resistance? Not everything, but there are some things. I feel like the things with high magic resistance, though, aren't like that hard. Like, you'll still be fine. Nice. Gargs are weak to magic, exactly. Like, truly resistant to magic is like Renala, but like, just hit her with the katana then. Like, I feel like anything that's super strong against magic is also probably gonna be weak against slash. I mean, that you can probably find a counterexample, but I feel like in general that's kind of true. A magical skeleton. Okay. Weird Yobu. Not that fast, but not too slow. Dark Moon Greatsword is good? Yeah, Dark Moon Greatsword is pretty great. High stat requirements, but if you're at kind of the end of the game and you can afford them, quite nice. Can't go wrong with Strength Int. I mean, you can if you were using almost any other weapon. It might be the only good Strength Int weapon. Well, that and Alablaster, actually. We don't talk about those. In general, I would say Strength Faith works better because Faith has really good buffs. Why you miss? Damn it. Death's Poker? Oh, you're right. I guess there's a third. Oh, Steeple. No, yeah, you're right. You're right. Watch Josh. Nah, well. Watch Josh is funny, okay? It is funny. How to build it Ren Steeple and Dark Moon Greatsword. You can buff both at once and deal ridiculous damage. I guess, yeah. I'm not sure that's necessary over just two-handing one of them, but... Well, your Twitch stream stopped working and Chatterino disconnected. Still have 950 down and 930 up. Weird. Rudge. Just showing off his internet, yep. What happens when you complete all bosses flawlessly and completed in something like 2830? Will I stop with the runs? Yeah. I will move on to something else. I have other like various things that I want to do, like random like archipelago ideas and stuff that I could in theory just take a day off of grinding and play archipelago. I just feel like I play better when I'm locked in on one category that I do day after day than when I, like, swap around. I mean, maybe I could do, like, one day a week. I do something other than grinding runs to try to, like, have video stuff to send to my editor, but I don't know. So thinking about running OOT or OOT randos? I mean, I do think about it, but... I mostly think, I don't think that would actually be a good idea, but it would be fun. Also, it would be fun to, like, learn the like, speed tech. Learn how to do Hess. Learn how to do a bomb hover. Learn how to do, you know, easy ISG. Learn how to, you know, do various dungeon skips and boss key skips and, you know. I just think about all the stuff that it would be fun to learn. Are there any new Shura strats that are particularly challenging? There are many. I mean, depends on what you mean by new, though. Most of the strats have been around at least for, you know, months to potentially years, but there are a lot of strats that are very tough. When am I going to watch One Piece? Watch the live action at least? Why would I watch the live action? I feel like the live action has just got to be, like, the worst way to experience it, right? Like, I feel like you're just better off watching the anime. But I'm not watching it at least until they find the One Piece and the saga is concluded, so that I know that if I wanted to just watch it and keep watching, I could, and not just run out and go, guess I don't know the end. And then probably not until there's, I think they're making some sort of, like, official shortened version. I think there's already fan-made shortened versions, but I think they're making an official one or something. So, probably not until that. And even then, I might still say, yeah, don't feel like it. Bad show. Not gonna watch. Not actually bad show, but, you know. Don't want to. Official One Piece. Won't lie, I have no patience for watching animes that go on that long. Yeah, it's a tough sell. Even Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is not, like, long, but it's, like, 60-something episodes, I feel like. Something like that. Felt kind of long to me. Yes and no, the live action is the best anime live adaptation. Anime is nearing the end, and they are also doing the One Piece, which is a fixed pacing animated by ATOT's team. ATOT, I don't know what ATOT is. If you start watching right now, it'll take you 1 year to catch up. Isn't that what? Would that be 1 year of watching 24 hours a day? Or 1 year of watching 12 hours a day? Or 8 hours a day? Well, Metal yeah is nearing my maximum. Yeah. Attack on Titan. Oh, I see. AOT. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, Attack on Titan was animated by a few different studios throughout its runtime. One to 2 hours. Oh, because if it's 1,000 episodes, you can watch 3 episodes an hour. Then an hour a day for a year would be 365 hours, which you would triple that to 1,100-ish episodes. Still too long. Okay. Slightly a weird ogre because he overturned, but not too bad. Just too late. Between me and Aggie, who holds the record in this run? Well, neither of us holds the record, but who has a faster time currently in this category? Me? Do I have a faster time than Aggie in every category now? I might. Hold on. For knowledge, for bragging rights. Games, Sekiro. Obviously, I'm faster in unrestricted. I'm faster in restricted. I'm obviously faster in no air swim. Is Aggie on the first page? Nope. He's at 104. I'm faster than him in this category. I guess I've technically never done Immortal Severance Restricted, so I guess he's faster than me there, but I could probably beat his time in a day. Because the record is 23:40 and he's got a 29:50, 6 minutes slower. I'm sure I could get within 6 minutes of record within a day or two. Immortal Severance, no air swim. I'm faster. Immortal Severance, glitchless. I've never done, but apparently neither has Aggie. I thought he'd had, but I don't see his name on there. The other ones that I've done are all bosses, mini bosses. I never submitted my run, so I don't know if I'm faster than him because I never submitted my run for all bosses, mini bosses restricted, and I never submitted. Well, apparently I submitted a run for all bosses, mini bosses glitchless, which is, and Aggie never did. So, who knows? All the categories I actually run, I am faster. Who knows? Okay. Close. There we go. To be fair, you would swim faster than Aggie. He's so short. I don't... Nah, I'm pretty sure he would swim faster. He's got me beat on athleticism. While he goes to the gym, I study the blade. Unless he, like, really doesn't know how to swim, because, like, I at least can, you know, swim. But I don't think that's the case. The virtual blade, of course. Do I have a faster randomizer time? I'm not sure if we have run the same settings on randomizer. He likes to do randomizers without key items randomized often, which I think is kind of lame and kind of boring. So I'm not sure I've ever done a key items not randomized randomizer. With key items randomized, I think my PB is like an hour 15-ish that we did during a charity event. Again, of course, none of all of this matters in actuality. It's who is faster between two people, whoever is currently running it or has run it more recently. The average runner today is faster than the world record runner when Aggie last grinded this category. Like, the literal middle of the road runner today is faster than the world record when Aggie was actively grinding this category, because, like, the strats just get found and the improvements are huge. So whoever is going to be faster is whoever has done it more recently. Have a good night, Desha. You're being a little weird, a little cringe there, Ogre. Horror game was interesting today that Aggie played. I saw a little bit of it. I mean, it didn't really look like horror that much, but maybe it gets spookier later. It actually looked fun. I was like, wait, it's like you get little like mini games to play and beat. And then there was something about like you could combine them if they were close enough together or something. It was like, wait, that sounds fun. Ah, dang it. More spooky atmosphere than straight up horror. Ah. The subject matter itself was horror. Mm. Maybe all games are horror games if you really think about it. Because they all take place in this world with all the horrors within it. Like those indie game streams? Yeah, they're fun. Real horror games are work simulator games. True. Can't think of a game to prove me wrong. See? Nice. In the green. Nice. Solid. Ah, one frame late again. The real horror was the code we made along the way, not the code. I do think the gang needs to do an oops all roguelike archipelago. We got beaten to it by CJ and the Odyssey people that just put out a video, but we've gotta do it. The ones that are the most punishing to die because you lose your whole run and have to redo like 30 minutes of progress. So Deathlink will go great. That'd be fun, yeah. I was thinking about doing one if his God Run video does well. Yeah. I mean, I think we've all kind of been thinking about doing one. We just haven't, like, put it together. Can imagine the Chris flame. Yep. Let's take Balatro. Who's gonna take it? Somebody will. I feel like multiple people would actually want to do Balatro. Adef would definitely do Balatro, although he might not want to have Deathlink on. Maybe he would for Balatro. Maybe he'd find that fun. Dom, I think, would. I would. Although I've never actually done a gold stake run on Balatro. I'm kind of a noob-ish at Balatro, but... Homo will crash out. Surely not. Surely it's not we all crash out and give up and say this was a horrible idea. I mean, I feel like Dom and me would fight each other for Mega Bonk if Mega Bonk is on Archipelago. I feel like Mega Bonk would be the goated roguelike choice. What? How did he turn to face me? Oh my god, that loses so much time. I was literally hitting him in the back, and somehow on the final hit he turned 180 to face me. That makes no sense. I was so sure that I could just keep attacking and get the back death blow. And our market, everyone's just tired and trying not to get upset. Parker will be having the time of her life. I've always been having fun during the archipelagos. I feel like I've got the best mindset of all the archipelagoians. Like that 14 hours and we didn't finish and I was just having fun playing Ocarina of Time. I was just like, oh, I'm having a great time. Ocarina of Time is always a good time. Yep. Happy times for the OOT runners. It's just a goated game. Like, even if you're not like, oh, it's my favorite Zelda, or even, you know, you don't have to be like, oh, it's the best Zelda, or, you know, anything like that. You can be like, ah, well, I like a lot of other Zeldas better. But, like, you just can't deny it's just a good game. He's always having to look up major speedrun tech. Well, yeah, he always chooses weird games, and weird games tend to be short, so he tends to get stuck having nothing to do for a long time, because the shorter the game, the earlier you're going to get done with everything you can do and have nothing left to do. Oops, all Zelda Archipelago win. That, you know, could be another idea. That totally, absolutely down for that as well. I mean, once Sekiro Archipelago is working, I'm definitely getting everyone to do an Oops, all Sekiro Archipelago. Where we're just all playing the same game. Will it perform very poorly compared to other archipelagos because it's just one game, and if people don't like it, that one game they won't watch? Probably, but who cares? I'm gonna make it happen just for fun. Oops, all Souls-like Archipelago. That, yeah, I mean, that as well, of course, will happen as soon as we get both Sekiro and Elden Ring. We'll probably do a All Souls plus Lies of P or something. Maybe plus Lies of P plus Crab as well if we get enough people. Everyone BKing because of Elden Ring. Probably. How many checks are going to be the Elden Ring Archipelago? Hopefully, they will make it have settings so you can turn off the vast majority of the items. I mean, think about the randomizers we already do, right? We put the key items only on certain spots so that it doesn't take all day to do an Elden Ring randomizer. You would just do the same thing. Try doing a purification speedrun? There's no official category for purification. There is all memories, which is kind of like purification plus demon of hatred. But I don't really find that category to be too interesting. If I'm gonna go for, like, do all the bosses, I'm probably gonna go for do all the bosses. Is this a new jump? No. It's been known since the first, like, month that the game was... Maybe not month. The first few months that the game was out. But it's horrible. I need to tone down the checks and Elden Ring, yeah. Imagine waiting for someone to find your Lord Vessel in the Howling Tree or bottom of the well or water temple. Yep. And that's what happens. If there's an All-Stars Archipelago, the DS2 and Elden Ring runners will be cruising while the Sekiro runner runs out of stuff to do instantly. Well, that's why you take the DS2 and the Elden Ring and you turn down their number of checks and you say, oh, you guys just go straight to your main objectives. Just get them done. And the Sekiro runner, you say, Demon Bell, Charmless. You have to check every single item of pick up in the entire game. You can't miss a single one. They're all checks. And if you do those two things, you know, it'll balance out enough. Sekiro might still be one of the first ones done, but it won't be like they're sitting there for 7 hours, you know? Because picking up every item we discovered takes a long time. And especially if you also do it Charmless Demon Bell, like, that's going to make the bosses take longer. That's going to introduce some deaths that weren't, you know, that you wouldn't have if you just played through normally, because Sekiro is pretty masterable. It's not often that you die. But it will be with Charmless Demon Bell. And especially if we can get settings, which I don't think we can because Matt would have to introduce them in the regular randomizer. But if we could get settings to randomize your sword so you don't have it at the start and you have to do skips to try to find it, that would increase the time it takes. Because you'd have to find your sword, then come back to kill things. If we could randomize your ability to deflect, so at the start of the game you have to play dodge only, that would increase the time. Maybe you also randomize your ability to dodge. So you have to play the game no dodging, no deflecting. That would increase the time it takes. There's a lot of fun stuff that could happen, but Matt would have to do that. Because currently the Archipelago just uses Matt's randomizer. And effectively you give it a YAML that basically sets the settings on Matt's randomizer. At least from how I understand it. So if it's not an option on Matt's randomizer, it won't be an option on the Archipelago. I want to see that now. I think it would be so cool. But when it's all down to one guy who knows how to make it happen, and as far as I know, Matt hasn't been, like, super interested in updating the Sekiro randomizer, it's, you know, a little unfortunate. We made all the shinobi abilities checks. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. Imagine a Kiadin being locked behind 40 skill points. Yep. I mean, it would keep the Sekiro player busy. You can farm out every skill point normally in about 2 hours of farming. But if an Archipelago does not have as good of a farming spot, I could see that taking even longer. But at least would always give something to do while BK'd. Just farm skill points, just in case that skill is necessary. Nice. Hours of farming is just pure torture. I mean, it's less pure torture than 2 hours of you have nothing to do because you're just out of things to check. I mean, and in a perfect world, you could tell the Archipelago make the items from skills not be key items, but you could still let them be helpful items. So you could make it so you're never, like, locking people out of doing stuff because you have to farm for 2 hours. But, you know, farming for 2 hours could get somebody, you know, an attack power upgrade that helps them beat the game. So you still want to do it, but it's not like oh, the farming is, you know, we're all stuck here until you farm. At least it would be nice if that were the case. Such things are possible for a randomizer to implement, but it's all about, will the people coding it have that idea? Will they know how to implement it? Will they want to implement it? Will they think it's a good idea even if I describe it to them and say, I think this would be really cool? Because of course, you know, I'm sure Matt gets, you know, thousands of suggestions for ways that people would want the randomizer changed. And he's got to sift through and find the ones he actually wants to do. Idiom. And you have not went to bed. Uh-oh. Alright, have a good one. I'd prefer nothing to do, because then I can go get a delicious burger. Well, what if you have basically nothing to do? You declare yourself BK'd. You order a delicious burger. And then you farm until the delicious burger arrives. In Ashen Outskirts, right before third, uses Junker to clone after Divine Dragon. Yeah, that's an okay spot for it. The better spot is the Night Ogre. You can start warping back to the idol while the ogre is breaking free and killing the enemies down there. And you just scoop up the stuff as you're warping out. And then it's just like an instant reset on it each time. No risk of dying from fighting poorly. No speeding up or slowing down that much based on, like, you know, oh, the enemy gave me that weird attack. It's just you start warping out, the ogre kills the guys, you do it again. You also, along the way, backstab a guy, but... Owl is as far as you got? I mean, that's pretty far. You can do it. Sounds like shiny hunting resets. I don't know. I don't know what they do for shiny hunting resets. Close got the first death blow. Aha. I'm sure you can get it then. Oh, that's so sad. Jumped one frame too late. No drinks today? Huh? Again, you're supposed to hit those? Yeah, I know, but it's kind of weird. Apparently, there's a new way to do that supposedly is easier, but I mean, I almost never fail the single canyon, so I don't really see a point in relearning a different way, but you can try to jump like under the icicles instead. Which I have done before, but I always found it harder rather than easier. The Taco Bell engine coolant. Yep. They got me to order it again by dangling the "you've got a reward that's expiring soon. Get your free fire tier reward. Expiring soon." Like, all right. You put on Dr. Swagger shirt for good luck. Heck yeah. Now that's a knower of my random shirts. From what you've seen till now, the canyon is the biggest run killer. It probably is, yeah. Luckily, it's early. In your long time. Is it possible to get sub 29 without double canyon? Yes. Double canyon saves about 7 seconds, and the world record is sub 28. So if you played at world record level without double canyon, you'd get a very low 28. However, I am not at world record level, so double canyon saves me more than enough time that it's gonna make it easier to hit sub 29. Yo, what up, Beck? Wasn't gonna intro, just have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Just have the same Arrowman ready for when you're at the palace rooftop. Yeah, that one, and the guy in the tutorial that just always snipes your arm. That guy OP. One frame off. You'd think he'd have him on standby. His greatest soldier, yeah. You really would think that. Hope the runs are good. The runs tonight have not really gotten going. Like, we had one that was on a good pace to Gunfort and then got shot 3 times in Gunfort. And other than that, it's been rough to get runs started tonight. But you know, that happens sometimes. All it takes is one good run. You don't have to get 100 good starts, although it does help. You just have to get the one that's a good start and a good end. Yeah, I am local recording just in case. Yeah, Comcast has not been too bad tonight. I do still have 1,000 dropped frames, but that's only 0.2%. So... Nice. Good, good movement there. I feel like in general I underrate the movement in this run a little bit. Like... I'm always like, wait, that was a good ogre. Why isn't the time as good as it should be? And it's like, oh, it's because your movement was bad. It's easy to lose, you know, a second on movement and not even realize it and just be focused on what happens with the ogre. Does my pinky finger hurt pressing shift constantly? No. I have a keyboard that has low keycaps, so it doesn't have to travel very far when I press it down, and a very low activation force. So I'm, like, hardly pushing down on it at all to get it to activate. And then it's just, like, actively making sure not to, like, you know, slam down on it with your finger. Otherwise, yeah, it will hurt. Any suggestions for Steam sale apart from Lies of P, Elden Ring, and Sekiro? You already have those. Is Nier Automata on sale? 'Cause that's a good game. Any Monster Hunter games? Love me some Monster Hunters. Nine Souls. Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight Silksong. What do I have? AI Limit, if you're looking for more Souls-likes. It's kind of a little, you know, more contained, less ambitious Souls-like, but within its, you know, containing, it's quite fun. I like it. Another Crab's Treasure, the first Berserker Kazan, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. That one's awesome. I like Code Vein and Code Vein 2, if either of them's on sale. But not everyone likes them. Some people don't like Code Vein and Code Vein 2 as much, but I think they're pretty fun.
Do you like Dark Souls 2?
I mean, more yes than no, but it's not one that I would recommend. I would not recommend Dark Souls 2. I liked it, but I wouldn't. It would not go on the recommendations list. Nine Souls is goated. I love Nine Souls. He likes Dark Souls 2. Holy. What? The guy who likes all the Souls games and every single Souls-like, except for maybe Lords of the Fallen, likes a Souls game? What the heck? I think if Dark Souls 3 had been more like Dark Souls 2... First of all, I'm not sure that I ever, you know, play Sekiro and start streaming and, you know, all this. I might have genuinely just been done with the franchise and been like, FromSoft sucks, actually. They made one good game. So I'm glad that Dark Souls 3 was different. And I also think I would have despised Dark Souls 2 if it had been like the standard for what they did going forward. I think I would have hated it as the herald, the beginning of the end. Similar to, I kind of despise what is a lot of people's favorite World of Warcraft expansion, World of Warcraft Legion, because it introduced all the randomness that would come to plague the game for several expansions after, that I think made the game much, much less fun. So I'm glad I didn't have to do that with Dark Souls 2. Because it's fine on its own, but it went in a really bad direction that I'm glad they course corrected from. Wrath of the Lich King is the best, period. True. One thing I'm prepared for the project FromSoft is unveiling this year. Dark Souls 2 2. We all know it. Nice. Wow, that was a much better ogre than I thought. Once legendaries weren't impossible to get, Legion was sick. I mean, I still hated the Titan forging. The Titan forging was still stupid. Kind of ruined the game for me, but at least removing the randomness of legendaries and just making it so you could just get all of them was a big step in the right direction. Oh, really? That didn't make it. That was a good attempt. I almost saved that for the short delayed jump that I got. Gambling for Arcano Crystal. You remember. Yep, I gambled for Arcano Crystal. Worse, I was gambling for a trinket from Maw of Souls. That was really, really good for Prot Paladin. I know most of you don't care about World of Warcraft, so I won't try to harp on this for too long, but was trying to get a specific talisman, and I agreed to carry a friend through their key for Maw of Souls with some of their friends who were not good. Not at all good. They kept dying. And so they would all die and I'd be perfectly fine. And I would just be like, okay, fine. I guess I'll let myself die and then, you know, die and we'd go again. And eventually I was like, no, you know what? I'm not going to die. I'm going to solo the dungeon for you. And we get to the final boss. Everyone else dies. While the boss is basically at full health. And I'm like, I don't care. And I soloed it for like 10 minutes. Beat the boss on my own. The trinket that I wanted dropped. Titan forged way up. I don't remember the exact amount, but it was like, oh my god, that is the best I've ever seen. That's so good. Can I have it? And the person who got it was like, no, I'm gonna keep it. It's like, okay, all right. Yeah, all right. No, that's fair, actually. And when I literally did the entire dungeon by myself. It's like, okay, all right. That's, you know, it is what it is. I would also hate that X-Pack after that. Fair. Yep. Well, that was my experience. Basically, the whole expansion was just constantly rolling the dice for minor upgrades. And constantly being denied. Picture of Buff Luigi in a banana hammock that says, that's how it is on this bitch of an earth. True. Elden Ring is very DS2 coded, but the combat is very DS3-ish. It's really, like, not very DS2 coded. Kind of at all, but... it does have the ability to wield 2 weapons, so... world, the legacy dungeons especially, have nothing in particular more in common with DS2 than DS1 or 3. They're kind of just... They're kind of just Dark Souls. Beautiful. Gold! Nice. There we go. Have I played Demon's Souls? Not all the way through, because it's not on PC. Otherwise, I would. I have played through the first, like, 2 or 3 bosses, maybe, on PlayStation 3. Back in college after DS1 came out, and I liked DS1 so much that my friend who really liked Demon's Souls was like, you've got to try Demon's Souls. It's like Dark Souls, but even better. And I tried it and I went, no thanks, actually. I don't really want to play this, actually. I think once you've tasted Dark Souls, I think Demon's Souls is a lot less sweet. But if Demon's Souls was your first one, it probably could be very, very good. But my first being Dark Souls kind of soured the Demon's Souls experience, I think. At least at that time. Unlucky. Okay, that's an alright Gyobu, that's not bad. Dark Souls was pretty unplayable on mouse and keyboard until Prepare to Die edition, if I remember correctly. Not until Prepare to Die edition, until the remaster, I think. Because I played Prepare to Die edition. That's like... That was the PC version, but it was on Games for Windows Live, and... It did not... It was really bad. It was very, very bad on mouse and keyboard. So I didn't play it with a mouse. I played it with only a keyboard. And that was probably not even better, but... I controlled the camera with keyboard. Okay. Good recovery on the bull for him doing the RNG that I don't like. Aw. We're in the green, yep. Okay. Not the greatest Genny luck I've seen, but it's fine. Was that 6 swings and jump? If you do it right, it makes the black screen that loads in and out of the cutscene faster. For some reason. Who knows why? Nobody knows why. That doesn't matter, because that black screen is not counted against your time on live split. But it does save all of us a real life, like half a second, so. So you're welcome. W time save. IRL time save, yep. Was back screen counted toward the total time back then? Yes. Yes, it was. Before we modified live split with the black screen remover. Yo, good morning. Enough time to net a minute back, that'd be 120 times. Yeah, probably. Okay. It's a little strange to me that my attack missed there when I unlocked. I unlocked so that I could kind of like scoot around him, but I expected my attack would hit him, but then it just like was not even close. Roberto. Have the runs been tonight? Well, this one is good. Before this, there wasn't too much good. Nice. Ooh, almost a gold. Am I seeing something other than Crimson Desert right now? I'm a little surprised so many people are playing it. I mean, not really surprised, because chat kept asking for it, so obviously it's going to be a popular game for people to watch. But doesn't, to me, look like such a good game that everyone's gotta play it. Looks alright. Should be free to play? I don't know. It's got a really big open world, it looks like. I think it's probably priced appropriately. I mean, I know there are big open world games that are free to play, but I don't think that's, you know, mandatory that you do that. Was excited until the reviews, yeah. I mean, I'm very much one for, like, it doesn't really matter the reviews of something, like, ow. Okay, just need a perfect centipede. And there we have it. A perfect centipede. I apologize that I brought up a potentially juicy topic when I'm on a good pace and kind of need to just focus.
Good luck, Nick.
Thank you for the good luck. Sorry about mentioning. Oh, no worries. No worries at all. I talked about it at a time when I could talk about it, and then I focused up when I needed to focus up. So. Nice. I am aware of my own limitations with talking. So I will sometimes just cut off in the middle of a sentence if it's a spot that I need to do something specific. A grapple is nice. Yeah, I do like that. The alternative swag jump. Range skip is always your favorite. It's a good one. So spooky. Sekiro is a really fun movement game. It is. It just feels good to just move around in. Good. Okay. Nice. Very good. Okay. Missed one headshot that I wanted, but that was not a bad phase one at all. Certainly not a great ape, but acceptable. Yep, 4 seconds lost. I think if you'll all excuse me, I'm gonna play Emma safe rather than doing the turnaround dead angles. Because I think we can achieve our goal playing Emma safe. And there's no way we can get sub 29 even if I play her risky, so I think it's better to just get the run finished. I mean, technically it's possible to get sub 29 if I had a perfect Emma and perfect Ishin, but that is not happening, so.
Good luck, Mitch.
Thank you for the good luck. Still quite a good Emma, even with the safe strat. Fuck me. Rip. No PB. There was nothing I could do. We were just in the middle of the worst spot in the arena for fire. Yeah, there was just nothing I could do. Played it perfectly, and we get screwed, and we do not get a PB. Like, genuinely, I played that perfectly on everything. Man. There was no way to push him in any direction that wouldn't have had fire. There wasn't anything I could do. Well, okay. Technically, I could have played it super safe, not done the fast strat, lost like, I don't know, 10 seconds instead of losing 20 seconds, and we could have PB'd by a little bit, and maybe just barely gotten sub 29:15. But like, come on, you have to do the cool strat. You have to do the cool strat. You have to do the strat where you do the turnaround dead angles and you jump up and deflect them twice in the air. You have to. It's mandatory. It's the law. But doing it killed the run because we were in the one spot in the arena where you cannot get away from the fire no matter what you do. Man, that sucks. That sucks. That sucks so bad. Anywhere else in the arena that you can push him to with normal attacks, you can get away from the fire. Ah, damn, that sucks. Oh, man. You practice it all the time, so you gotta. I gotta. I had to. I had to. I got it perfectly. I had to. But I got totally screwed for it. Ugh. The literal only spot in the entire arena that he can be pushed to with normal attacks that you die. The actual only spot, like, I cannot believe how unlucky that is. If he's anywhere to the right of it, you can always get away from the fire. If he goes any bit left of that, then he actually ends up going further, so he's at the doorway, so you're not in the fire. And if he's full left, which does happen, like, on rare occasion, it always ends on a Mikiri, so you can always do a free aim jump instead of having to do the jump towards him. Ugh. Man. My PB is very solid still. Yeah, my PB is quite solid. It is quite solid. Oh. Because usually what I mess up is not getting hit by fire anymore. I've gotten so good at avoiding fire that in practice, I'll go a full hour of practice and never get hit by fire. The only thing that I'll usually ever mess up in practice is not getting the turnarounds. Like, I can't believe it was in exactly that spot. Oh. It was the perfect stopping point, too, where I could have just PB'd and said, hey, this is perfect. I gotta get to bed for Archipelago tomorrow. I still probably need to say that. I still probably need to say I need to get to bed for Archipelago tomorrow. But what a disappointing way to end it instead of we could have had such a glorious way to end it. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably just go to bed. This is so sad. We pushed him backward with the dash behind instead of the 180s. You would have had to not do the 180s strat. Dashing behind in that situation just doesn't really work. If I was going to not do the 180s, I would just R1 him. I would just start phase 2 and I would just R1 him. Without trying for 180s at all, I would have just R1'd him, and then if he did the super move, I would have just interrupted it with Mortal Draw. Archie, how many hours from now? 10. 10 to maybe 11, depending on when we actually start. We'll see. But in approximately 10. Which I know is like, well, you don't need 10 hours of sleep, but it's like, I need to wind down, and then in the morning I need to wake up and, you know, shower and get ready and all that, so. And I still haven't eaten, really, so I need to eat, then wind down, then sleep, then get up, then get ready, then Archipelago, so. Keeping 10 hours for myself is probably a good idea. You think you can do that if you end phase 1 on deflect? The dodge behind? No, not really. At least I wouldn't know how to. I would just be guessing as to how it works, and I would probably mess it up and die. That would have been, like, even more risky, so. Have some good food. I've got some remaining Taco Bell to go along with my Baja Blast, 0 sugar. So, let's raid Kaylee Strawberry, who's doing Liza P, Deathless, all bosses. Should be fun. Rooting for you. Just got past ape on your no prayer bead, no memories, charmless demon bell run. Holy, nice job. Food and sleep well. Thank you, thank you. Was the Mortal Draw partial in first or second phase? For Ape? Ape, the second phase was the only one that we got partial. Actually, I don't think we got any partials. Or do you mean on Ishin? We didn't get any partials on Ishin. I don't think so. We just got hit by the fire. I'm not sure where the partial you mean is. I don't think we got any partial MDs in that run. I think all the MDs were good. We just got a little unlucky on Ape's attacks, and then we might have missed a headshot. I think I missed a headshot. And then we got, you know, the fire on Ishin. Why does my food sound like the name of an attack? Because it is. Everything is an attack when you study the blade. Anyway, I have stalled for long enough. Have a good night, or morning, or afternoon, or evening, wherever in the world you all happen to be. And I will hopefully see you all for the Archipelago in like 10-ish hours. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.